How's it going, everyone? Want to go over what is pretty huge news as far as a free-to-play game shutting down. One that had a lot of traction back in the day. I remember we talked about it on this channel quite a lot, and it will be shutting down forever in just a couple of months. As noted on Twitter by the Dauntless official Twitter account, important update, Dauntless is shutting down on May 29, 2025. Dauntless will receive no additional content or updates. Dauntless will no longer be available to play on and after May 29, 2025. Thanks to all for being a part of the Dauntless journey. Now, Dauntless is a totally free-to-play game. It is online only, so once it's shutting down, it is gone forever. If you actually look at the Steam reviews, 1,750 reviews. It released on Steam back in December of 2024. 17% of those reviews are positive, overwhelmingly negative reception. Now, they didn't put out much of a statement. What I just read was the entire statement that they put out for Dauntless, and this isn't a game that I can meticulously break down and talk about where it entirely went wrong, but I remember covering the game when it initially came out, and when we were leading up to the initial release. It was unfortunate because Dauntless had a lot of buzz, and then Capcom is just like, alright guys, here's Monster Hunter World, and I just feel like Monster Hunter World took all of the attention away from Dauntless, or a sizable amount of it. And if you go to the Steam reviews, yeah, it's like a disaster as far as what they are saying. One user says the December update to this game might have been the one of the worst in gaming history. It turned a chill arcade hunting game into a grindy, poorly designed, unfun piece of garbage. It's sad to see the game go out like this. Now, I am not entirely sure what the December update entailed, but if it turned into a grindy, unfun pile of garbage, to me that says they added a level of grind to incentivize in-app purchases. When that didn't generate in-app purchases, maybe they realized that the game wasn't going to be sustainable for the long term in terms of a financial, the financial viability of the game. That's what I would immediately think, given that now the game is shutting down. This game is what got me into the genre. I was a dumb kid. I didn't like the slower-paced nature of Monster Hunter, and so I got into this game a bit back when it launched. Dauntless was fast-paced, the behemoths were fun to fight, and upgrading to new gear felt challenging and rewarding. Now you have to pay for weapons. All of the weapons you previously could just grind and earn are now gone. How could anyone possibly think this was a good idea? At the bare minimum, at least make the weapons craftable or create some new weapons that we can craft. Okay, reading this review, essentially what I said seemingly did happen, and that was the death sentence for the game. But I imagine they changed that element of the game because they realized that there wasn't going to be financial viability to the way Dauntless was going, so they shifted to this, and then they realized that nobody was going to pay money, or enough people weren't going to pay money, that the financial viability still wasn't there. Thus, now the game is shutting down. Another user says, the hundreds of hours I spent building up everything I had all gone with one update for the second time with this game just after it finally came to Steam. Like, to me, just reading these reviews, it really does seem like this December update was like a Hail Mary for them to find some sort of financial viability for this game when that didn't pan out and everybody crapped on it. Seemingly, this was the only way forward in terms of canceling the game or shutting the game down. An unfortunate reality with these live service games, especially for this one that's been out for 8 years, financial viability in terms of keeping it running for a long period of time is always going to be an issue. People will eventually move on, and if you have a core audience and then you're trying to do things to bring in more people, or in this case, bring in more revenue, you might end up turning off the people you have left, and then what happens? You're just out of luck, and then you have to shut down. Again, it really did feel like a Hail Mary kind of situation. It would have been really nice to have an official statement, but what are they going to say? Are they going to say what I just outlined, that we tried to Hail Mary it and try to keep this game viable by making the grind or making it so we could generate more revenue by locking you out of certain weapons? Yeah, they could outright say that, but I think most people can put two and two together and realize that that was probably the reason for the game shutting down. And the reality is the live service market is so hard to break into and to be viable for a long period of time. What I always say is you're not really competing for people's money, more so than you're competing for people's time, because time will ultimately convert into money. If people are spending a lot of time in a game, a significant amount of hours, and a lot of people are doing that, you're gonna get a portion of those people to also spend money. But the reality is, when you look at the live service model and you break down the live service model, there are only so many games to go around that people are gonna cycle through. Yes, the top level games, the Fortnites, the Marvel Rivals, they're gonna make a lot of money. Even Apex at a lesser tier. those games are going to make a lot of money. But then when you're talking about the vast majority of these games, the Concord, the Dauntless is now, the Fair games, I imagine. I mean, Fair game might end up being big, but you get the idea. There's just not enough time in the day, so it's a very, very competitive environment. Even more difficult, I would argue, to break into the live service market than it is to break into the single-player market, but the reward is so much greater if you can pop off, if you can get a Marvel Rivals, if you can get a Fortnite, if you can get one of those games, but Dauntless just wasn't going to be one of those. Another one bites the dust, and it is shutting down forever. This has been around for around 8 years, so a little bit unfortunate, but seems like it just is what it is. This is something you're going to see a lot, and it's in, you know, one part of the news, then out the other. We move on, and people are going to forget about it, so it is what it is. That'll do it for me. Notable game shutting down forever in Dauntless, and that'll be happening in May of this year, but that'll do it for me. All of your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.